A Review Podcast.
Conversation caught on camera Wednesday night.
Hey, 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 goodbye. Na, na, na.
Fox News called Arizona for Joe Biden with only 76% of the vote counted in a race with a difference of only 10,457 votes. The voter turnout in the state of Arizona was unprecedented, with more than 11,000 more votes than registered voters. For days, both sides claimed a victory in Arizona. Donald Trump had a strong position, but officials had not completed counting Maricopa County. The nation watched as Maricopa County delayed their ballot count.
Circle back, certainly circle back. I will have to circle back.
And geopolitical analysis arm of Israel will not hesitate in going to war with Iran should Biden make the mistake of rejoining the nuclear deal. Dannon spoke to Newsweek and said they know what our expectations are. The former Israeli ambassador to the United Nations added, "They know what are the flaws of the agreement. We said it publicly in the past. I put it in front of the Security Council a few times." The Biden administration must listen to what Dannon is saying, as he is not just a former diplomat but also a close aide of Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Presently, Dannon is serving as the head of the international branch of Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu's right-wing Likud party. So, this is a man in authority speaking about how Israel would react if Biden decides to rejoin the nuclear deal against Israel's wish. Israel, in fact, has its own reasons for being very uncomfortable with Biden's perceived plans to reactivate the nuclear deal. The Iran nuclear deal was flawed from the word go when it was conceptualized during the Obama administration. Later, Israel found it expedient that Trump withdrew the US from the flawed deal. Tehran never honored its JCPOA obligations, and even today, the Shiite nation continues to increase its nuclear stockpile despite protests from the International Atomic Energy Agency. Trump understood that Iran was never serious about its commitments with world powers under the Iran nuclear deal. But Biden keeps fooling himself in the hope that Tehran will honor its obligations. And then, this is exactly what worries Israel. Dannon, who was appointed as the former Israeli ambassador to the UN right after the JCPOA was signed in 2015, pointed a number of flaws in the nuclear deal. The list includes allowances for certain Iranian ballistic missile activities, limited uranium enrichment, and so-called sunset clauses that lift certain restrictions against Iran. The former Israeli diplomat said they are aware of these issues. He added that it remained to be seen if they put them or the issues aside and re-enter the agreement, or would they put them as preconditions. Dannon claims that a lot has changed in the last 5 years, and if the US decides to reinvigorate the JCPOA, then Israel would have to take tough decisions against Iran. He said the Iran of 2021 is not the Iran of 2016. Today, they are in a much more advanced condition, unfortunately. He added, if the US would decide to re-enter the agreement as it is, Israel will have to recalculate regarding the Iranian nuclear race. So in the past we raised our options, and I'm sure we will bring them up again. So, the message is clear from Israel. Any US attempt to revive the JCPOA will have consequences, and Israel will not hesitate in going for even an all-out war against the Shiite nation.
Folks. That's all, folks.